Hi friends and fellow Earth Angels, it's Gladys and welcome back to another one of my weekly Sunday card readings. And this spread will start by covering July 5th to the 11th or whenever you're guided to watch, as I always intend these readings to be timeless. So welcome new subscribers. I am gonna go back to angel therapy this week. Friends, there's so much. I keep seeing the imagery of the kaleidoscope and the multifaceted colors. And if I remember correctly, like when you turned the kaleidoscope, the colors would shift and change. So I feel like one of the messages I want to share with you this week is there's a lot of shadow work coming up for Earth Angels. And one of the best things you can do is do some clearing on attachments. I'm seeing that. How can we detach from outcomes, from control, from experiences? Maybe you want something to happen a certain way, or maybe it's not happening fast enough. Patience in the present moment, practicing stillness this week. I feel like a lot of Earth Angels have been antsy, and we're just in the final eclipse of this lunar eclipse of the eclipse tunnel. It's a full moon energy this week. There's a lot of purging, a lot of releasing, and I feel like the angels are saying there's no more that you have to do. Just experience, allow, receive, replenish, recharge, recoup. There's all this nurturing energy that I feel like the angels want to shower you with this week. They see how hard you've been working on healing, growing, expanding, and it's almost like the energy of pause, but not like waiting for something to happen. Pausing and just being mindful of your energy and where you're at. When you feel yourself getting overwhelmed or worked up, or things are happening beyond your control, how can you pause in stillness, call on the angels, call on the divine for assistance, and then seek a pathway to gratitude or thankfuls or gratefuls or joyfuls? And now this isn't to suppress the way you're feeling, but if you can divert your attention away from the quote unquote problem, maybe it's a feeling, it's emotion, and it's an experience, maybe it's a void, maybe it's an emptiness, maybe it's a lack of like support or love around you. I know a lot of people are feeling like that mundane day to day. A lot of the way we have felt alive in going out and connecting with our fellow brothers and sisters has been shut down. So we're now being squeezed in approaching life in a new way. How do we invoke that energy of feeling alive and feeling human and feeling joyful and thankful in the mundane, in the everyday? So practicing the art of detachments or doing some attachment work. I have a really great meditation that I've been using myself that I will share in the comments below if you feel guided to want to use meditation. And let's just get into the readings. So I'll let the angels say the rest. So of course I'm going to start with the Archangel Oracle Cards, additional messages from Oracle of the Angels, action steps from Angel Therapy. We'll get some messages of love from the Crystal Angel deck, and finally an angel prayer from the Angel Prayers Oracle cards. All right, friends. So as always, let me open up space, invite in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, the divine mother, and all their holy beings of light who would like to assist with this guidance for you today. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good, and the best and highest good of all concerned. All right, just me saying that opening prayer has brought a smile to my face. So part of it is allowing the divine in to love you, to assist you, to guide you, to open doors for you, to give you a hug. All right, what Archangel wants to come forward this week? Archangels were the beginning. They were my gateway through my spirituality. So I have a deep affection for the archangels. Oh, patience. Archangel Jophiel. It says your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. Ooh. So Archangel Jophiel, Angel Joe, is the angel that helps us to clutter clear. She helps us to get outdoors, to get fresh air, to ground in earth with Mother Nature, to get clarity. So maybe this week you're feeling like full, like an abundance of old energy. Maybe you're feeling dense. And a lot of this is planetary, friends. Remember, a lot of earth angels, well, I think all earth angels are empathic. They're highly sensitive. They're intuitive. They're connected. And earth angels now are learning how to emotionally support themselves, become mentally, emotionally, and spiritually strong. And unfortunately, that involves a singular or soul journey for a time period. So a lot of you are in this place of solitude or singular on this soul journey. Whenever I talk about this, I always see Jesus on the pathway, like walking the road to the next place. And the man was the epitome of patience. He had so much patience with people who asked the same questions over and over again, who were curious, who were rebellious, who were confused and scared. And so, maybe if you resonate with Jesus's energy, calling him in this week, if you're feeling impatient or you're feeling annoyed, or like I said, you're feeling those attachments, there could be people that are attached to you, and you're feeling that codependency, or you're feeling that energy squeezing on you, and maybe you don't even know where it's coming from. It doesn't really even matter where it's coming from. It's how you can practice the art of detaching and create good self-care, like a good self-care regimen or good self-care, develop self-care, self-soothing, self-nourishing skills and tools to assist. I always say the divine is powerful in being able to shift. Maybe some of you, if you've just gone through, maybe you've had people in your house and things are settling down, or you've been around home a lot, this might be a good time, or this might be a good week to clear your space using sage or Palo Santo or a room spray. Maybe doing some type of ceremony, especially with this full moon lunar eclipse energy in Capricorn. Capricorn is about structure. It's the goat that starts on the bottom and works its way up one step at a time. And that's always that's how Jesus got to the next place. He had to put one foot in front of the other. I mean, I can't imagine Jesus rode around with a motorcade of vehicles, and he had people who carried luggage. I mean, the man was simple as he roamed the earth. So a lot of you are energetically simplifying these emotions, these feelings, unpacking your upbringing. There's a lot of inner child work that's coming up. So I've also been doing inner child work myself, and capitalizing on this Cancer lunar energy, as I'm so dominant in the water vibration. So I've been doing this stuff myself. Again, I will put that meditation that I've been using in the description box below. And I always say use these tools to go to when you're feeling the pull to it, when you're feeling called. Anything I say by no means is a have to or should, because what will happen is if there's any restriction that you put on yourself, look, I need to do this, or I need to do that, or I should do this, or I should do that, eventually you're going to rebel against it. So I offer these tools as a way for you to have something to go to, but it's by no means something that you have to do. I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do, because just that mental energy alone is going to strangle your creative energy. It's going to strangle and suffocate that sacral chakra, the sacral chakra, which is joy and pleasure and laughter and play and fun. So I feel like Jophiel is reminding you this week to have patience with yourself, and even exploring that word, what that even means. I know my doggy teaches me patience, and that's something we've been working on this week. So I'm not surprised that patience is coming up for the collective. And it's a very feminine vibration, patience, right? The masculine energy is action, taking action, getting things done. And most of you earth angels, whether you're resonate male or female, you got the masculine action down pat. You can pay your bills, you can show up, you can make things happen. But what happens is if you're mentally in that distorted masculine energy, you're constantly telling yourself you have to do more, say more, be more, have more, and you're just not going to feel like doing anything with all that mental, emotional energy. So going deeper into the layers beyond the physical and what's happening around you in the 3D world, and really maybe asking Jophiel to show you how you can clean up your own emotions and feelings that are no longer serving you. So additional messages from the Oracle of the Angels, Jophiel. I'm also seeing the color green here. Green is very healing. It's a very therapeutic color. So if you resonate with color, get some green food in you, some greens. Get outside in nature, sit with some green, wear a green shirt, something to connect with that healing color. All right, so what additional message do you have, Jophiel? A door to the infinite. Yes. So, card number 16, which equals 7. 7 is a very spiritual number. 7 is shadow work. It's going deep within. It's inner child work. It's a door to the infinite. So what I'm feeling with this is maybe you are feeling tired. Maybe you're just exhausted. Like I said, there's a lot of pulling on the planet Earth energetically in the stars and the astrology. And so maybe you're feeling depleted and in that lack energy of chi within your body. And I feel like that's where maybe you might get, if you're getting angry or frustrated or annoyed or short fused, chances are you may need to eat some more protein, you need some rest. Chances are your energy or your chi cells are depleted. So with this being a 7 card, I feel like the divine is saying, come to us and receive from the abundance of energy or chi that's all around you. You do have to be still and open and receive it. I thought it was interesting, this word here. It says still. They need nurturing and patience. And you can receive that from the divine, nurturing and patience with stillness and being open and receptive. So, this person here is opening her heart chakra, her hands, and her heart is open to receiving. And that's why I say there's nothing more that you have to do, friends, this week. This is not about taking action. This is about aligning your energy so that doors open for you naturally. Experiences come to you. This is feminine energy. So they're saying through patience, right, and being open and receptive, it's a door to the infinite. Abundance of energy, abundance all around you, and maybe even being thankful for the abundance that you do have. Even if you have a garden outside and you have an abundance of flowers, focus your attention on that. If you have a gas tank right now that's full, focus on the abundance of that. If you have an abundance of food in your fridge, healthy food, maybe you've been able to get to a farmer's market. Focus your attention on that abundance rather than the depletion of what you don't have. A lot of you are like waiting for that one thing, or you just want this one thing to happen or something to unfold. Well, you've got to be willing to detach from the outcome of those experiences. And a really good way to do that is just shifting your attention, remembering that God is the supreme bank. God is the supreme bank of energy, of experiences, of joy, laughter, love, first and foremost. Remember, a lot of us were raised in a conditional love environment, right? So love is conditional. You do for me and I'll give you love. You don't do for me and I will not give you love. So I always say the education system is a perfect example of that. When you perform and do well and achieve, you get A's and B's and you get pleasure from the world around you, right? Maybe your parents were like, great job, atta boy, atta girl, pat on the back. Maybe your grandparents gave you money for doing good in school. And then, when you didn't, maybe it was math, or maybe it was English, or maybe it was history, those areas that maybe you're just not called to enhance in, and you didn't do well according to what the education system wanted of you. Now, I'm not saying it's good or bad, right or wrong. I'm saying for earth angels, it didn't help our emotional state and our sensitivities, because what would you get? You would get do better. You would get what's wrong with you, work harder. Maybe you experienced frustrations. Now, this is just a fraction of what I mean by conditional love. It could be, I'm also hearing the sirens come by now with Archangel Michael. So maybe stuff is coming up for you with this. So you have to understand that we live in a world that has put conditions on love. And a lot of us have learned that if we're pleasing or doing well, then we'll get rewarded. If we do or say something that people don't like because it's part of our authenticity, it's part of who we are, then we get punished. And, this has been a journey for me for, years now, and learning how to move through self-esteem, worth, value, stand in my own power, use my voice, which is really where this channel stemmed from. And so from there, I'm also seeing other earth angels who are coming into their power. But understand there's a patience, there's a finesse to spiritual growth. There's a patience to it. There's a process. There is a dance to co-create with the universe. And I feel like your angels are saying, we know you can get stuff done. We know. But sometimes it's almost like, it's like that person who speeds to the red light and then has to stop. And then it turns green and they speed to the next red light and then they have to stop. Where the angels are saying, when it's green, go slow. And by the time you get to the red lights, it'll be green again. And take your time and look at the scenery around you and have experiences. So here's the thing. If you're in your masculine energy waiting for the next thing, or if you're so far in the future and you're doing things and having experiences to get experiences, how can I explain that? For example, if you're doing something to get the love, let's say, from somebody else, chances are when you get there, it's not going to be what you experience, or it's not going to be what you want. So full acceptance is the present moment, which is very feminine, right? And understanding that the spiritual journey and growth is a process. It is lifelong. And when you do finally experience the growth, or you experience the love, or you experience that which you had been working towards, something else comes up, and that's learning. Learning is, and education is multifaceted. There's different levels and different dimensions. So if you can think about it in the simplest form, when a child is in school, they learn their numbers, right? What 1, 2, 3, 4, and what they look like. And then once they learn that, another level comes in where they learn how to take those numbers and add. And then the child, they finally get that and they're like, yes, this is great. And then what happens is they got to learn how to just subtract with those numbers. And then it's like, oh, another thing. Yes, now I get this. And then they learn how to multiply and then divide. And then they go into geometry and all this stuff. And so this is in the simplest form. Spiritual growth is like this. There really is no ending, because once you get something, there's another layer in what you can do with what you've learned. And that's why I say bringing yourself back to the present moment and being with the experience and embracing the place that you're in, even though it may be less than ideal, there is so much to learn. And if you're racing from red light to red light, you're missing the scenery. Now, this isn't to shame. This isn't to tell you like, oh, you should be doing this. This is to lessen the impact and speed up the recovery process. This will slow down time for you. This will slow down the heartache. This will slow down the feelings of lack when you're in the present moment. And this is the embracing of the divine feminine essence, right? The kaleidoscope of life being multifaceted and not just from one place to another. All right, so what action steps can you take, or what angel therapy message does Jovial have for you this week? What message? It's a good angel therapy. Let's see here. Ooh, third eye chakra. Oh, I love it. I love it. It's safe for you to see the energy of love in all its forms, such as angels, auras, and visions. Friends, you know, I love when they back me up. Not that I think they would do it any other way. So third eye chakra is the unseen. It's the unseen. It's the abyss of wisdom that's deep inside of you. Some of you may literally need to do some third eye chakra work this week. Some of you, as you come into your intuition, as you come into this power, there may be some fear as to what you're going to see, what you're going to experience. Now, I have to say, I've been doing mediumship for 15 years now, and I have never seen anything like what would be similar to watching a horror movie. Ever, ever, ever. The only experiences I always get are messages of love and support. And so some of you may be afraid, because really we live in a world that has demonized the feminine essence, right? That has suppressed intuition, right? We have past lives where midwives and massage therapists and alchemists and herbalists and medicine women, medicine men have been persecuted in the rawest form of taking their life because of their embracing the feminine energy. And now it's coming in mass levels, like it cannot be suppressed. So some of you understand that you could have fears in the shadow in past lives that you're not aware of. So have patience with your journey when the fears come up. Remember that here you are again. You made it, right? Nobody can actually really kill you, right? Because you'll just come back, right? So this is that part of life, just regenerating over and over again, experiences. And we do that in our physical life here, the one that we have right now, and then in lives going forward. And so here's the thing, friends, you have an opportunity to handpick the people, places, things, and ideas that you want in this lifetime and lifetimes forward. And you get to do it consciously. You get to do it through your feeling body. You know, I know I know a lot of these messages can be repetitive, and it's so interesting that there were repetitive messages with the many different decks that I use. And so they know that repetition is what's learned. So a lot of you earth angels know these things in the intellectual part. But now the angels and the divine are encouraging you to bring it into your physical body, bring it into your heart, bring it into and ground it, right? So you can intellectualize all these things, you know all these things, but then it's like, but why? But why can't I? And so because you've got to bring it into your physical body and work through the emotions and the feelings and the experiences you're having of sadness, of bitterness, of resentful, of detoxification, manipulation of people's programs on you. This is the individualization process. So when you're living and your soul is lit up and you're in your purpose and you're lighting up the sky with your knowledge and wisdom that you've come here for, and you come up against adversity or somebody who's going to challenge that, 1000% that God has your back, right? And you can express yourself and you can communicate. So being able to work with the third eye chakra and listening to that that spiritual energy, listening to that unseen, that abyss of wisdom that's within you, is your power, right? And nobody can tell you. People can definitely offer you support and validate what you already know deep down, but they can't tell you. They can't tell you, and you do it, and that energy sustain. You have to feel it in every fiber of your being. I had people tell me for years how powerful I was. And I knew intellectually, okay, I get it. I was born under this quadruple Cancer energy, which is highly psychic, highly intuitive. Yeah, sure, I get it. But I had deep wounds and self-esteem and worth and value and body issues and literal distortion in my physical body, and it was constantly a mismatch. And it was only when I had an experience that activated the pain and I surrendered. I was like, I'm here again. There's got to be another way. And I surrendered to it. And that's when I went deep into the abyss of healing inner child work. That's where I rediscovered the essence of the divine feminine energy. And I'm so grateful for the feminine energies out there who share the information of what they know. And it's inspired me to share the information that I know. And then it'll inspire you to go and share the information that you're collecting and that you know. Or the wisdom. I should not say information. You're able to, as they've experienced their own wisdom and have been confident to share it, I've been able to receive that, check in with myself. It's helped me to do some really deep healing, and then I can share the wisdom of what I know, and you can take in what resonates. And then what happens is maybe somebody in the grocery store, or maybe your coworker, or maybe your neighbor will be challenged, and then you'll be activated in that wisdom, and you'll be able to comfort them and support them and teach them and inspire them. It requires a level of connection to the third eye so that you have this deep inner knowing, but it comes from the physical body, especially for women or feminine energies that are dominant, or people who are dominant operating in their feminine essence, because our intuition is in our heart and our physical body, right? So a lot of you are purging and releasing pain from your body, sickness, illness, trauma in your cellular memory. So having patience with this and knowing that it is the pathway to true freedom. This is why a lot of people don't show up to this, because it's hard. I'm not going to lie. It's hard and it's painful. And this is why you having really great support in your life and allowing people in to assist you. And then when you do, seeing that and recognizing that and loving them back. Take care of the people who continue to show up for you in the place of love. It's not uncommon when we have people in our lives that we've aligned with that want to love us, that genuinely care for us and want to help us. But because of our wounds, we can push them away, we can sabotage, it can be like a destruction of that unconditional love. And so by you recognizing how people are showing up for you in healthier ways and surrendering into that and working together is powerful. I always say there's strength in numbers, and the dark forces on this planet have been doing everything they can to separate and divide. And when the packs are separated and divided, they're weaker, right? What do lions and wolves do with animals, right? That they want to hunt. They separate the weak from the pack, right? Which becomes prey. So I pray that the EarthAngel Collective is stronger and they're banding together and they're aligning and they're connecting with each other, because there is truly strength in numbers. I mean, look at elephants, right? They're massive animals that band together. They form circles around their baby, their youth, their sick, and the ones in the forefront stand strong, right? And in their full power, right? And that energy itself is intimidating. So the angels are activating within you your full power, which is the essence of love and the divine. All right, so let me get an additional message from the Crystal Angels deck. What additional message do you have for the collective this week? Moonstone. Ooh, heightened intuition. Third eye. Door to the infinite. 7. Patience. I'm telling you, the spiritual realms are knocking at your crown chakra. It says, be extra aware of your inner knowingness, and it is trustworthy. Friends. This makes me happy. So I love this. So if you actually have moonstone, grab some moonstone. I'm just actually I'm going to go into the book. I want to read about moonstone for you. Moonstone is readily available. It's pretty easy to find. Let's see. Moonstone, it says, this beautiful opalescent stone shimmers like moonbeams in white, pale, blue, and rainbow colors. Moonstone, like the moon itself, carries and supports divine feminine sacred energies. I just see exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. It says it can amplify the effects of the full and new moons and help with receptivity, nurturing, spiritual visions, and other feminine aspects. I'm so glad I read that. Again, it just kind of backs up all these other cards and these messages that the divine is speaking to your heart. And I think this is why these are so powerful and they're so purposeful and clear in alignment as I channel, right? It's easy for somebody to say, oh, she's just saying that, or she's just, she's just, just saying words or whatever. But when I say the words and then the stuff comes out to back it up, like, you can't deny that. This is inner wisdom. This is intuition. This is spirit speaking, right? You have that power within you. And so right now, the divine is working on your confidence, your self-esteem, your worth, your value. Like, I know 1000% when I show up to these readings, the angels got my back. And you can see, I know this. Intellectually, I know this. But when the cards come out in the way that they do, I feel it. I feel it in my physical body, which reinforces the knowing in my mental body. You see? And when these come out, I feel it in my stomach. I feel it in my heart. I get excited. I get passionate. And it's all unseen, right? It's something that it's not physically tangible. So as I channel, right, the ego can certainly say, oh, that's baloney, or I don't believe in that. And then the cards come out. This is why I'm saying, this is how powerful you are as well. You have been drawn to this channel. You show up every week for a reason. You have a mission. You have a purpose. Remember, you're a puzzle piece of humanity that is necessary to complete the whole picture. If you're missing one piece, maybe you worked on a 5,000 piece puzzle, you finally got it done and there was one piece missing. How unsatisfying is that to not see the whole picture? So the divine is saying, have patience with yourself. We're downloading you this week through this lunar eclipse energy, and you have an opportunity to really transform the second half of 2020 with the divine. Not on your own, not figuring it out, with the divine. All right, so let me finish up here with an overall prayer for you. Let's see here. What final message, what prayer do the angels have for you this week? Angel Jophiel and your team, what prayer do you have for the collective this week? What do they need to know? Focus your mind. Thank you, angels, for helping me to focus on my priorities. Do you see the alchemy within? This is the, I believe, It's Metatron's cube. It looks like Metatron's cube, which is very cleansing. It clears spaces. This goes back to you guys clearing your space this week. Energetically, like I said, sage. Sage for me is intense. It's very smoky. And I have a dog, and he sneezes, and it's not good for him. So I use Palo Santo, but you could use a room spray. You know what other scent I'm being guided to share with you? Rose. If you guys can get rose, a rose spray, or maybe if some of you out there have rose flower essence and you sell it, you put it in my comments. I don't know where I would get rose, but I'm actually like, oh, that's a good idea. I need to get some of that. I know I have rose dish soap. It's in my box. I haven't opened it yet, but being able to get some type of rose essence, maybe going out and getting roses this week and having the fragrance in your house, that might be something to clear and cleanse, because this will help you focus your mind. When you have distorted energy around you, when you've done a lot of releasing, purging, maybe there's been worries and fears, that energy can linger all around, right? This is why a lot of intuitives, when they have healing spaces, they do a lot of clearing work, because people are coming to release, they're coming to dump, which great. This is why we create those spaces, but there needs to be a release of it. So maybe opening a window or clearing energy out of your house. Now remember, you don't have control over what other people do, so this is not for you to blame anybody in your house. Oh, they're negative, or oh, they're grumpy, or that's not what this is about. They're in their own space. Love them and set your boundaries. Pull out of those energies, clear your own space, and then focus your mind on your priorities. And maybe you're not sure what they are. So being able to go to the divine, using your third eye. Again, we're talking a lot about mental, emotional work, becoming mentally stronger, emotionally stronger, and then even forgiving of where you're at on your journey. I know with all the work that I do, so many times people struggle with where they're at. Doesn't matter what age they're at, there are regrets that can come up. I should have this, I should have that, or I'm this age and I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Know that stuff is coming up because somebody told you it needed to be that way. And when they say those things, my answer is, in the most loving way, says, who says? Who says it has to be that way? I mean, my life is a perfect example of not ordinary and not of the norm. And one of my challenges has been wanting to be normal, or wanting to have like the normalcy of the 3D world. And then when it starts to happen, I'm like, this ain't me. What am I even doing? So I've really had to learn how to accept and embrace my spiritual journey and where I'm at, and the plan that God has for me, and not what my human self thinks I should have, and where I should be, and who I should be with, and the type of people that should be in my life, and where I should be at in my career, and in my personal life. So I've really had to do a lot of work on fully accepting that. So, and it requires a level of focusing your mind, pausing and asking the divine, show me what needs to be done. Show me where the work needs to be. Like I said, there's a lot of shadow work that's coming up, and shadow work should be embraced, right? It's the ego showing you where the work needs to be done, right? The frustrations, the annoyances, the aggravations. When you can actually listen to that part of you instead of suppressing it, there's information there that can free you. And this uncomfortableness, this journey that you're on, I can tell you, is the ultimate freedom that will sustain you for lifetimes ahead. Okay, so let me close space by thanking all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, the divine mother, and all their holy beings of light that assisted with this guidance for you today. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done. Thank you, friends, so much for showing up. I've got some really cool things going on in my subscription program. I've been doing, I just started live readings. I had a class on the Divine Mother. So this is the stuff that's going on. I do, fairly regular posts to let you know what's going on for support and guidance. The subscription program is by no means something that you have to do. I provide everything for you to come when you're guided, receive, fill up, and continue to grow. So there's no work involved in the subscription program. If you are able to join us, if you join the subscription program and I'm hosting a class or a workshop on a subject and you're able to join us, great. If not, I record it and I post it in the group and you can go back and listen to it. If you're not guided to it, that's fine too. It's a place for you to really enhance your own intuition, your own guidance, to receive support from a community of others that are like-minded. And that information is also in the description box below. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your subscribes, your likes, your comments, your support. They've been helpful, they've been inspiring, and I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine, trust your intuition, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.